Great day, attractive thinker. Dr. Toni Hatton here. I am so delighted to be here with you for another episode of Beyond the Break 2020 with my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw, the visual encourager. Welcome back. I know you had a fantastic and amazing week. We certainly did, because as attractive thinkers, we see beyond what we're looking at. No matter what you had to encounter this week, I know you used your laser attractive thinker vision and you were able to zoom right over top of that circumstance or that encounter and keep your attractive thinker vision ever before you and see the opportunities in your challenges. Today, we're going to be talking about it's already inside of you. You already know our message, the attractive thinker, the break the cycle specialist at theattractivethinker.guru. That's where you're going to get some real mental tools to support you as a new and aspiring entrepreneur or anything new that you desire to do in your life. Transform your life, change, move here, go from here to there. You need mental tools to help you do that, not just action steps, not just, a program or a package. You need some mental tools. You got to go inside and make some shifts to help you get there. And that's what we do at theattractivethinker.guru. So I want to introduce you to my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw, the visual encourager. Welcome back, Tichet.
Great day, everybody. It's such an amazing time and day, to be here. I'm so thankful that I get a chance to be myself for another day. You can go to visualencouragement.com. That is my website, where I provide mental support. We all need mental support. We can get the mental tools, but together you need mental support. And this mental support is for people dealing with depression who desires to lift the heaviness so that you can create a new vision for themselves. We want you to feel uplifted and ignited, live a life of fulfillment. And we're there to help make sure you do that. So you have the attractive thinker and you have visual encouragement. We're providing different areas, different avenues where you can just be a better version of yourself. I'm so grateful to be here today. I'm so thankful.
Yes, yes. And I'm so glad to have you here as well. You bring so many parts and pieces and so much fire and power to this message that attractive thinkers can really absorb what we're sharing and get it in your spirit so that it makes a difference. It's one thing to just hear something with your ears, but when you get it in your spirit, you're able to take action on what you're hearing. Again, attractive thinkers, have your attractive thinker notebook and pen handy, because we drop so many gems and jewels along the way. You don't want to miss anything. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break 2020. That's our YouTube channel, Beyond the Break 2020. Beyond the Break, giving yourself a fighting chance. That's our message. We want you to give yourself a fighting chance, beyond the heartbreak, beyond the disappointment, beyond the circumstances, beyond life. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Beyond the Break 2020, so you don't miss an episode. And feel free to share. Leave us some comments. Share with us any topics that you would like to hear discussed as well. So today we're going to be talking about it's already inside of you. The thing that you've been looking for, or the thing that you've been chasing, or the thing that you think because you don't have it is stopping you from the things that you desire to do with your life, or from accomplishing or moving forward. We're going to talk about that today, because this is what I want to say to you. You want to write this down in your Attractive Thinker notebook. It's already inside of you. I want you to think about that as you're writing it. And I want you to say it as you're writing it. It's already inside of me. Say that as you're writing it, because that it begins to come alive in you. You begin to feel the words and feel the energy behind those words. It's already inside of me. You mean everything that I've been seeking and looking for, things that I feel as though are missing from my life, the parts and pieces that I feel like I don't have, it's already inside of you. And when you begin to see yourself as self-sufficient, self-reliant, able to accomplish the things that you desire for your life with what you already have, then you're going to take different action. You're going to show up in the world with a different posture. You're going to have a different expectation and intention. You know, you're going to do things different. You're going to take action with a different kind of energy, because it is possible to take action towards your goals and not really have an expectation, not really think anything new is going to happen this time than it happened last time. So this time, when you take that action with the knowing that it's already inside of me, then you're going to move some things. You're going to see some things change just because of the knowing, just because of the intention, just because of the new energy that you're doing it in. Because just like faith without works is dead, so are actions without real intention. When you take action with no intention, you're not going to get the result that you're looking for. You're not going to fully experience. You're not going to get the real full outcome. You're not going to get the wholeness of the thing that you're hoping for or desiring for, because the intent, the energy that you put into the action that you take is what makes the connection. It's what makes things work. It's what makes it happen. What's your take on that, Tichet?
It does what makes it happen. You said something last week. Nothing can stop a made up mind. So when you're doing things with an intention, that is a made up mind that I want this result, or I'm determined to have that work out this way. You know, we talk about how strong your intention is, that when you speak a certain thing, so say you have a goal, say you have, some type of business that you want to launch, and you speak that business as successful, and you have that in your heart, that energy is in your heart. So when you have that energy that meets up with your words, and it's that intention, when you go forth with that and apply good, strong will, you're going to get the results that you need, your results that you want and desire, or you're going to get greater. Because again, another thing we said is we want exceedingly and abundantly, because we want to see that come to fruition, but not get stuck in the way that it has to be done. So sometimes you have to go a different way, but what you are looking for is already in you. Everything is in you. You have been equipped from before you was in the womb. You have been equipped, ordained, and justified to do the will and the work of God, and to be able to create and put out some powerful and amazing things. You were already equipped with that. See, because here's the thing. Your life was designed for you to win, regardless of what you see going on in today. I know we see sometimes we'll have some successes over here, and sometimes we have some failures over here, but all things work together for good. Your life was designed for you to win by any means necessary, but you have to have the intention and the will to do so.
I like that. I like that. Tichet, you said two things that really stood out to me. Not get stuck in doing it a certain way. You said that.
Yes.
And then you said you're designed to win. So I want to talk about that. When you said not getting stuck, we can get stuck in doing it a certain way, and we miss the way that it can happen, because we have a one-track mind. I mean, if I throw some things out there and I ask you some questions about, okay, how do students carry their school supplies to school with them when they get on the school bus? They carry them in what, Tichet?
A backpack.
A backpack. That's the first thing we're going to say, right?
Yes.
But are there other ways for them to carry their school supplies to school?
Absolutely.
What are some other ways?
In your hand, in a bag, in a box, a suitcase.
Yes, get somebody else to carry them. Yeah, get somebody
true.
else to do it. So there are other ways, but most of the time we get stuck in the way that comes natural to us, or that we know about, or that we've been programmed that's the way. And we close all the other doors. All these other doors are closed. Nobody can carry my school supplies. I'm not carrying my school supplies. I can't put them in a bag. I can't put them in a box. We shut all those other doors when they are opportunities. They
Yes,
are
yes.
other ways for these things to happen. So when we look at the goals that we have for our lives and the things that we desire to do, if we have our minds set on it happening one way, then think about all the other doors that we're closing. So that goes back to, it's not that the answer is no, or that God won't do it, or it's not possible for you, or you're not good enough. It's that you're just looking at one door. And if that door is closed, nobody ever told you to consider another door.
Yes.
If that door is closed, you haven't even taken into consideration that there are other doors. You're not even aware that there are other ways for this to happen. So just opening ourselves up. See, when we talk about it's already in you, just opening yourself up to that idea. Whether you fully believe it or not, just opening yourself up to the possibility that it's all what you're seeking outside of you is already inside of you is opening a door. It's giving you an opportunity for something more, something incredible to come into your life and into your experience. So when we talk about it's already inside of you, that's empowering. When I say it's already inside of me, you automatically know what action to take when you believe it's already inside of you. But when you say, I don't have it, I don't have what it takes, or if I just had this, or if I just could find somebody to help me, or if I just had the money, or if I just could move, if I could just afford this house, or if the deal would just go through. God has other ways to bless you other than a deal.
That's true.
If I could just get them to sign a contract, whether they sign a contract or not, you still have an opportunity to get the blessing or the goal or get the result that you're looking for. There are other ways. There is no just one way for God to get things to you or for you to accomplish things. But understanding that it's already inside of you and taking this perspective, if it's not happening the conventional way, I dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, then it must be coming to me in an unconventional way.
Yes, yes.
And then if you begin to look for that unconventional way. Back to you, Tichet.
When you talk about the unconventional way, one of the things I think about is, in the exact statement you said, is we shut out the other ways. This is how you get stuck in the box. We always say, think outside. You hear people say, think outside the box. Don't get stuck in the box. The box to me, and everybody has their own definition, but the box to me is the perimeters of the standard way of thinking, the conventional way of thinking, the set in stone way of thinking. But see, it's nothing set in stone when you understand that you are in control of your experience by a series of yes and no. You don't have to accept the conventional way. When we think about convention, think about the ovens, right? And some of us can get stuck in our way and say, oh, it has to go into the oven. It can't go into, a convection oven. It has to be the conventional oven. Well, it's not going to come out right. Now they got air fryers and deep fryers and stoves and microwave. They got a gazillion different ways to cook to get the result that you want. And I have a air fryer, and it was foreign to me at first because I've never really heard of it. It was a gift, and I never understood how you fry something without oil, because I'm supposed to use oil to fry something, but then I use my air fryer and it's just crispy. So I had to do the unconventional way to get the results I wanted. And I was very surprised at how that works, because it got me the crispiness I need, especially after you put something in the refrigerator, it gets soggy, you think you can't get that crispiness back. You can get that crispiness in your life back. You just gotta go the unconventional way. So when we shut the doors to the way that we think it should come, we're blocking ourselves and remaining in the box. One of the things that you talked about is, you said, when we do shut the doors to other things, and there's so many ways we can carry it, but we don't. So you said about the contract, you said, say you're going to sign a contract, and you say, well, they didn't sign a contract, so I can't get it, or they didn't do this, they didn't sign me up, so I didn't get it. What if you were supposed to create your own? What if you were supposed to create your own network? How many people out here that's one of the top people in business were told that they don't have the face for television. They don't have this. So they created their own network and run it. You know, if it does not, I tell my daughter all the time, if you don't see an opportunity to do a certain thing, but you have the will to do so, create that opportunity. If you don't see a job out here that's for you, create your job, create your business, create a need for you, create it. You know, you have the ability to do that. You got strength, and when you got will, there's a way when you got will. You know, and so to me, when we talk about will, I say that at the end of the day, the only thing that gets done was your will. There's a difference between willing and wanting. You know, we can want all day long. We can want this, and I want this cake, and I want that result, and I want to lose weight, and I want to start a business, and I want. You know, we have all these wants. But in that day, what were you willing to do? Because when you look back, you're going to see all the things that you were willing to do is what got done. So when you say, oh, well, I didn't have time to work out, or I didn't have time to call you, or I didn't have time to put this together, or I didn't have time to send this, sign that, go here, go there, take this, put that out. You know, I didn't have time to build that business. You're saying to yourself, I wasn't willing to make time to do that, because your will is what gets done in the end of the day. You know, what you were willing to do, there's strength behind the will. There's so much strength behind the will. So you can want all day, and that will help you push past mountains. It will help you move those mountains. You have will, you have to have that faith along with that will, but that's where the intention come in. You have that faith, that intent to do action towards it, that will then comes into fruition, it manifests, and you to move mountains. So, you know, and how that ties into is already in you, because your will is already here. Your intention is already here. You got to get your mindset to line up with what's already here in order to put forth the action. Like you said earlier, faith without works is dead, you know. But to me, if you're doing the work without faith, we don't know where you're going to turn up. You don't know if you're digging in the right place. So you have to make sure that you're lining yourself up, your spirit and your discernment is lined up with the Almighty God, to make sure that the will that does come forth is His will done in the earth as it is in heaven. Back to you, Dr.
Yes, that's good. That is so good. Tichet, you mentioned we have wants, but are we willing? You know, when we talk about it's already inside of you, a will, it's already inside of you. You're willing all day long. Whatever you get accomplished, like you said, Tichet, throughout the day, it's because you willed it to do it to be so. You were willing for it to be so. You wanted it, and you were willing. Wants and wills. Wants and wills. Wants and wills. Wants without wills will get you nowhere. How many people have you talked to in the course of a day that want a lot of things, but they don't have that substance behind their wants? What's the substance? A will. Where there is a will, there is a way. Ways come with wills. So if there's no will, there's no way. The way opens up, the way manifests, the way appears. It reveals itself to you when there's a will. So when we talk about it's already inside of you, the material things that you desire, the intangible things that you already have is what gets that. And I was sharing with Tichet a minute ago about an experience that I had over the past week. It took me like 7 days to get this project done. My son is coming home from the military, and I wanted his room to be a certain way. I definitely wanted to install a ceiling fan, because where he is extremely hot. And he's a hot kind of guy. He doesn't do heat well, so he'll just start breaking out in sweats and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to make his room a little bit more comfortable, even though we have central air and things like that. He just needs that extra air. So I was trying to install a ceiling fan. Now, I installed one in his brother's room right next to his room. So it was real easy. We took the light out. We looked at the ceiling fan equipment, the outlet box, the electrical box that was up there. It was very congruent with the unit that we had purchased, the ceiling fan. And we were able to just follow the steps in the manual and get it up in the ceiling. Then we went to the other room and we took the light out the ceiling. You got a whole new set of electrical contraptions that doesn't match what you just did. I'm like, man, this is great. We went every step of the book and we implemented everything, got the fan up, and it's working. It feels great. And we thought we could do the same thing over here. But one way was the conventional way. Now we're sitting here with all these parts and pieces all over the place, the screws everywhere, and propellers from the fan is everywhere. And we can't even get started because we don't have the foundational pieces like the conventional way. Now, because we still have what it takes to shed, because it's already inside of us. See, I think somewhere along the line, we were stripped of our ability or our belief that we are created beings, we are creative beings, and that we can create whatever we want to create. And it doesn't have to be conventional as long as it works, as long as it gets the result that we were looking for. But when we feel like we don't have the screws or the electrical box or the holes or the compartments that we need to make it work according to the manual, we think it can't work at all. And that's how it is in life. When we feel like we don't have the money for something, or we don't have the people in our circle to help us do something, or we don't have the right opportunities or the right influence or the right ideas, we feel like we can't accomplish that goal. Anytime, attractive thinker, that you cannot accomplish something the conventional way, you're called to do it the unconventional way. You don't change the goal, you change the way you accomplish the goal. You keep the same goal, you go about it another way, because where there's a will, there is a way. If you have a will, there's a way over here for that. If you have a will for this, there's a way over here for that. There is no such thing as there's no way. The issue is, do you have the will? So we were able to get the ceiling. Then again, like I said, it took me like 7 days back and forth. And, you know, some people wanted to help me and some people got tired. They said, I don't want to do it no more. Or we just need to call an electrician or da-da-da-da. And I just wouldn't give up. I kept talking to God about it. I was like, God, okay, what is this? What are you trying to say? Because this is crazy. I mean, the only issue is a screw. I said, this can't be that deep. I said, what's the real story behind all of this? And I kept looking at parts and pieces at the Home Depot and went to Lowe's and called Ace Hardware. We just kept looking for parts and pieces. And I'm going to tell you what happened. We had to go about it the unconventional way, whereas it needed a screw over here, we had to put a screw and an anchor. Now, if an electrician goes up in that ceiling, he's like, who installed this ceiling fan? How did you get this ceiling fan up here? Because we had a will. We didn't go about it the conventional way. And I hope this is helping somebody, because you have creativity. It's already inside of you. You just have to activate it. And how do we activate our creativity? How do you even activate a will? How do you strengthen a will? With challenges. You strengthen a will with challenge. We were met with a challenge. And because the will was already in place, think about it. We go in and we say, I'm going to install a ceiling fan. That's the will right there. You don't have to go anywhere to get a will. That's the will. I'm going to. You didn't say I'm going in here to try and install a ceiling fan. You said, I'm going in here to install a ceiling fan. So the will is already in place. Now you meet some challenges. Listen to me, attractive thing. I hope you're getting this, that you can apply into your regular life, your daily life. So you have the will, and you go up there to do what you came to do, and you meet you met with some challenges. Do you back out and say, I can't do this, or let's just take this ceiling fan back to the store and put the light back up there that was up there? If this is impossible, or this isn't going to work, or you start complaining, or doubt and fear set in, and you say, this is not going to happen. I really wanted to make this happen before he gets home, and this and that, and you go, let's just call an electrician, or let's just do this and that and the other. Or do you tune in closer? Do you silence the voices? Do you go inward and anchor yourself to your peace again? Go back to your center and say, I know that it's possible. Don't close your doors to your possibilities in life. Say, I know that it's possible. Whether I know how to make it happen or not, I know it's possible. See, that leaves all your doors open. Leave your doors open. Don't close your doors. Leave your doors open. Don't let doubt and fear set in. Don't let negativity set in, and your feeling of inability to accomplish this thing set in. Keep the doors open. You keep your doors open with your words and with your posture and with your belief. You don't hang your shoulders and hang your head and walk away and tuck your tail in defeat. Keep your doors open. I'm keeping all my doors open. I'm available. My mind is open. Okay, Father, lead me and guide me. Which way do you want me to go? What do you want me to use? Which one of these screws is going to work? And I'm going to tell you something that it was just so amazing that happened. Although we had to do some unconventional things, the very 2 screws that we had used in the beginning that did not work. Now I'm going to tell you, when I say we had a trying time with this fence, we broke off screws. Some of the heads of the, we got the screw all the way up in there, and the head of the screw broke off because of the drill we were using. We broke off 2 screws. The last screw we broke off, we broke the screw off even with the hole that it goes in, so there was no way to pull it back out.
Wow.
I want you to understand something, attractive thinker. When things seem impossible in your life, see, I could have given up then. When I was the last one that broke. My son broke off a screw. I was the one that broke off the screw that couldn't come out. It was level with the hole. The screw he broke off, it just broke the head off, and he wasn't finished screwing it up. So if some of the screw was sticking out, we could take the pliers and unscrew it. But I broke it off level with the hole. That was a deal breaker right there. Because there was no way to anchor a ceiling fan when you have it needs to be anchored by 2 screws, and one of them you can't even get a screw up in there because it's broke off. But we kept the doors open. We kept the doors open. I said, go on YouTube and find out how to get a screw out of a hole that's broke off. And my son ran back in the room with 7 different ways to get a screw out of a hole that is broken off and level with the hole. Come on, y'all. Keeping the doors open. Look at all the opportunities we would have missed out on. Look at the lessons that my son would have missed out on had I given up. Because I didn't give up, he understands now how to install a ceiling fan. He could do it on his own. And he knows how to compensate when he don't have all the parts and pieces. Look at the lessons that he walks away with for the rest of his life because I didn't quit, because I had a will. Now he has a will. His will began to develop, not with ceiling fans, but other areas of his life where it seems impossible. He will remember the story of the ceiling fan. And where there's a will, there is a way. Back to you, Tichet.
Wow, what an amazing story, because I always listen to you talk, and I always try to listen for the message. So I listen to your stories with 2 ears. I listen to what's going on, but I listen to the message and how I can apply it in so many different areas, because I really believe how you do anything is how you do everything. The thing that stood out so much to me is you really could have given up, like you said. You know, this is how you know that you are not conventional, you are unconventional, because you are extraordinary, which is unconventional. You know, conventional way is the ordinary way of doing stuff, you know, and you are extraordinary. So this is why you keep coming up with extraordinary results, you know. And then you said, even though it broke off, now see, if the screw broke off and it was a level, there's a lot of people that would have just huffed and puffed and been like, you know what, it might not have been meant for me to do this. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Let's just get a floor fan. You know, they try to take it where it's easier, you know, but sometimes the easiest route is not always the route that's needed to be taken. Sometimes the road less traveled is what's needed to be taken. But you said something also. You said your son went in and Googled it, well, YouTubed it, and he found seven resources that showed him 7 different ways of how he could get this done. When you have a will and a way, you will tap into whichever resource that you can put your hands on to get the results you need. This is why your will creates a way and why your will gets done, because you're not willing to just let that slide. You wasn't willing to have that excuse. Oh, the screws didn't work. There wasn't enough in the ceiling. You know, you have every excuse in the book. When you're not willing to do something, you'll let any excuse matter.
Anything.
You'll let all the excuses come in. The first one come in, yeah, I couldn't do it because. I couldn't do it because of this and because of that. But when you learn how to push beyond the excuses,
beyond the break.
You know, you always, yes, beyond the break. When you push past beyond the break, you see the intention, you see, you have the will, you have the desire. You are by default, if you are on a right path and you are walking this path in total alignment, by default, you're going to get what God has for you. You're going to get it because you had the will to allow his will to be done in your life. So it's going to get done. You just know that sometimes you're going to come up against challenges. You're going to come up against hurdles. But a person who is extraordinary knows that those hurdles are not stop signs. Those hurdles is meant for you to jump over them, go under them, go around them, something, but don't let it get in your way. So you wasn't willing to let these hurdles get in your way. You were going to give your son those results. And that's the thing. We are so deserving of extraordinary consequences, extraordinary manifestation. We are deserving. You had it in your mind, made up in your mind, that your son deserved to have the ceiling fan. This is what I'm telling all of you out there. Y'all deserve, we deserve the desires of your heart, the manifestation of all that you've been working hard for. We deserve that. If you can make up in your mind, like we said last week, nothing can stop a made up mind. You are determined. You have intention. You have a will to have manifestation. You're not going to stop, sleep, roll over, play dead until you get this manifestation. And then once you get the manifestation, you really can't roll over and play dead now because you're on fire and excited. Mm-hmm. So everything is already in here. And you have to line this up with your spirit and your heart in order to have the manifestation. So everything you need is already in front of you. You know, it's already not in front of you. It's already there. I'm sorry. The world at your fingertips is in front of you. But everything you need to grab a hold of this thing and live it out is right there. One of the things I wanted to share, and Dr. Toni and I had this same instant, is zip lining. You know, when you are going zip lining, it's so much going up to the top where you're supposedly to jump off. It's so scary. I mean, honestly, they buckle you up. Safety, you know, you get on, it's like, why do I need all these buckles? Is it really that bad? Is it going to hold you? You're having all that preparation as you go up. You know, when you are going up to the top, you do have some questions. You say, you know, did I really think this through? Is the line going to hold me? You know, people have survived, right? You know, you're so afraid it becomes this big oversized fear, you know, and you get up to the top and you're on this platform, you're buckled up for safety. You know, people made it across. They have somebody go in front of you so you can see that it's done. And see, this is what your son was doing. He was watching you go ahead of him so he can see how it's done and what's done. So you're on this platform, you're so afraid, you start thinking about life insurance and, you know, did I tell my daughter I love her? You know, did I do everything today? Did I lock the door? What about my passwords? You start thinking about all this stuff because you're fearful. And see, that's the thing. We let fear go in front of the will. So we let that fear become the excuse to why we don't do something, and we don't realize that everything we're looking for is right there waiting for us to jump off. You know, the liberation, the freedom that you experience when you go ziplining after you jump off. Now, I had people that have done ziplining too, and they go, nope. But me, I like an extraordinary results. I like to be liberated. I like to feel something different. I would like to feel like I'm alive. And yes, I did. I jumped in my jumping turn from to ooh, you know, I was in that air like, yeah, you know. So, but then I thought about it. I said, you know, that's not so bad. In order for me to get to that type of liberation and that freedom,
yes.
I had to be willing to push past the excuse. I had to be willing to jump. It took me a minute to get there, but I was willing to jump. But what I was looking for, which is the reason why I signed up for ziplining, what I was looking for was not on the platform where I was standing. It was in the air after I decided to leap out on faith and take that step to jump. It met me in the air. That liberation, that freedom, it met me in the air. And I was able to go on across. I was able to do it. And I was so proud of myself in the end. So not only did I push past the fear, I had the will to jump off. I made a decision. I had a made up mind what I was not turning back. I'm not chickening out. I'm going to get to the other side. We have to make up in our mind that we're going to get to the other side by any means necessary and not allow the excuses to stand in front of our will. Mm-hmm. So you got to push past that fear and that, oh, well, this ain't work out this way and this is how it's supposed to be done. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of the conventional way is for me to walk across the road. I flew over. The unconventional way was the zip line all the way across, you know. So I wanted some extraordinary results. I can't walk across. I had to jump and glide. And it was so exciting and so lit. If you never tried zip lining, I recommend it highly. I recommend it because it is so freeing and liberating. But the biggest fear of them all was the fear of it itself. The fear itself was the biggest part. So once I faced my fear, and I realized there was nothing to fear at all, and everything I wanted was already waiting for me. It was here. I had to have the will. I had to have the way. And I did that thing. I did that thing. So I recommend it to everybody. I recommend it. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
Once I faced my fear, I'm writing it down. Once I faced my fear, you said the fear was the biggest part. And once I faced my fear, think about that, facing it. When you have to face the person or face the challenge or face that situation, when you think about facing a person, you're confronting them. You're looking at them in the eye. You're no longer there in your presence and you're in denial. You're not trying to make a connection. You're looking to the side, or you're not looking directly at them, or you're hoping they'll walk past, or you're hoping they don't see you. Confronting that fear is looking that fear dead in the eye and saying, I'm going to do it anyway. I remember, one of my family members, we all went ziplining for my son's 16th birthday. And one of my family members, it was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. They climbed all the way up to the top, and it came time to jump, and they was like, okay. I mean, they said okay like 1,000 times. I was laughing so hard, I was on the ground laughing. I was like, just jump. You can do it. Okay. I'm gonna do it. And then they went to jump, and the fear gripped them so bad. It was like the fear pulled them back. I mean, they were almost in the air, and the fear pulled them back to the point where they weren't in the air, and they weren't fully on the platform. They were dangling now in between, because the fear stopped them right in mid-air. They had mustered up enough courage to jump, but the reality of it stopped them in their tracks, and they couldn't, like you said, they couldn't get it right up here. Once you get it right up here, the body follows, everything follows.
Yes.
You got to get it right up here first. And yes. I know what that experience was like, because I did it myself. I think I was like maybe the first one to do it. And the climb is okay. You can climb up to the top. You put one foot in front of the other. You're holding on to the racks or the rungs in the pole or whatever. And you get up to the top. Now you stand on the platform. Now your perception has changed, because down on the ground, it looks very different looking up. But from the top on that platform, it looks very different looking down. You know, that experience is different. You have a different outlook. You see things differently. And that some people have fear of heights. That height, now you have to embrace that. You didn't have the fear of the height when you were on the ground, because you're grounded. You're on the ground. Now you're dealing with more than just the fear of the jump. Now you got to deal with the fear of heights and getting your balance. And now you got your thoughts. Do you realize at the top, those voices get louder? That fear gets stronger, and now you're standing on the platform. You're all suited up and booted up, all the straps and locks and chains and whatever else they put on you. You're strapped in. And all you have to do, your very next step, is to jump. Are you willing to jump into your freedom? Are you willing to jump for liberation? Are you willing to jump for joy? Are you willing to jump for peace? For peace sake, are you willing to jump? Now, here's the beautiful part about the jump. It's just a split second. It's not even a full second. All you have to do is muster up the courage for a split second, because once you jump, life takes over. The freedom and the liberation takes over. The joy is there to greet you and meet you in the air. But you have to have the courage just for a split second to take the leap. And like Tichet said, you go from screaming, in fear and panic to, woo, the whole way down. It's like fantastic and amazing. How, and that's that split second response. How do you go from, oh my God, woo, come on. It's a happening that takes place really quickly. That's how quick your transformation can take place. That's how quick you can access your goals. That's how quick you can step into a new way of living and existing. That's how quick your name can change. Your identity can change. Your heart can change. That's how quick. But we put time limits on everything. Well, it's going to take me a couple of years to accomplish this, or it's going to take me a few months to get here, or it's going to take this long to save this kind of money and all this and that. But the work is quick. The hard part, the long part, is getting our belief system to the point where we're ready to jump. We can take the jump. That's what all this work is about, getting ourselves in the position, getting us to the point whereas our will is so strong. Now, life has its way of getting us there. Have you ever, now I have this story I share all the time. I went into my kids' room when they were little, and I was like, you need to clean this stuff up. I'm tired of stepping on all these toys. You got candy wrappers everywhere, and jacks. We used to play jacks with the ball. You throw the ball up and catch it. Those jacks don't feel good when you step on them, okay? So I kept telling him to clean up his room, One day I walked in there and stepped on a jack. My energy went through the roof. I said, oh my God, I told you to clean up this room. Oh my God. And I'm hopping, holding my foot. They jumped up immediately, stopped what they were doing, got the broom and the dustpan. So what happened? See, life has this way of pushing us to take the leap. And I remember telling God, I don't want you to ever have to do anything to make me do what you told me to do. Let me do it on my own. Because when you're destined to do something, it's going to happen either the conventional way or the unconventional way. It's going to happen either your free will way or you being pushed and shoved to do it. And life knows how to push and shove you, and it doesn't feel good all the time. So you want to make up your mind that when you know what to do, you know what you have to do, you know what that next move is, that you muster up the courage, that you do what you have to do to fortify your will so that you can do it on your own. You can take that leap on your own, because when you're at the top and you're about to zip line, that dude will tell you there's no way back down. You can't go back down. The only way down is to jump. That's what he told one of my family members. The only way off of this ledge is you're going to have to jump. You can't climb back down. So in life, the only way for you to reach that goal is to jump. Now, here's the deal. You do have two options. You can jump or you're going to be pushed.
Yes.
If you're going to get down off of that ledge, you can jump or you're going to be pushed. Because I remember one of my family members was just panicking and having this crazy, and they were holding the line up and everything. And I told the gentleman who hooked her up, I said, push her. He said, can I push? I said, I'm giving you permission. You're going to have to push her because she's not going to jump. You're going to have to push her. So think about that. Would you rather jump to your dream or be pushed into your dream? I'd rather jump. I'd rather jump. You know why? Because I want to take full responsibility for getting there.
Yes.
I don't want it to be said that I'm there because somebody pushed me or I couldn't get there on my own. I want to take full responsibility for my jump, for my dream. It's my dream. It's my dream. I'm going to leap into my dream because nobody wants it bad enough as I do. I want you to think about that. If somebody's going to push you, you could get hurt. You could trip and fall. When somebody's pushing you, they don't know when you're ready, so you're not ready. When you jump, all of your body, it's just like this unified energy. It's like this unified magic that tells all of your parts and pieces what to do because you're in the air, you're preparing for the jump. Your stress levels, the pupils in your eyes, they're dilated a certain way to accommodate the jump. Your heart has adjusted to accommodate the jump. Your legs and arms are in position. Your hands are gripping and holding on at a certain tightness because you're in jump position. But when somebody pushes you, they don't know whether you're ready or not. They don't know if all your parts and pieces are aligned for the jump or not. So I'd rather jump than be pushed. Back to you, Tichet.
Yes, I'd rather jump than be pushed. It's crazy because when you get to a point in life where you get so high up, you've done so much, you made the decision, you walked this far, that you get to a point where it's jump or be pushed. In other words, staying where you are is not an option. It's not something that, can be done at this point, because at some point you have to make a move, and though I'd rather jump than be pushed, it's awesome to have people in your life who knows that you can make it, that's willing to push them. I thought that was funny. You said to push them because you know that they're going to make it. You believe wholeheartedly that everything that they need everything that they're looking for is in the jump, is on the other side. They're already equipped. They're already, they already built up and come so far that if they just go the extra mile and jump, you know that you will reach the destination and you'll get more than what you bargained for. I just think that's so amazing. Not allowing yourself to let excuses get in the way. And see, when you're going up to that top, there's a whole lot of negative self-talk that's going on, that's building up the fear. So again, as we say in other episodes, what you're saying to yourself makes all the difference in the world. When you're telling yourself or disqualifying yourself for the journey, you're saying, I'm not capable, or I'm not, ready, or maybe I'm not gifted. You have so many negative thoughts going in your head that's telling you you're not ready for this. And here's the thing, you've always been ready for this. Why? Because you are an extraordinary being. You are an extraordinary being. You have the ability to create. You have the ability to subdue and take dominion. He gave you the ability and caused your hands to prosper. So in the jump off, and that's what I'm gonna call it, the jump off, everything you need is gonna meet you right in the air. Everything you are is already in you. So I'm gonna say that again. Everything you need is in the air at the jump off, but everything you are for that is already in you. You are equipped. You are more than conquerors. You are designed to win. So everything you need, you are equipped to conquer the zip line. Another thing though is when we have fear, sometimes fear, that negative self-talk can create a bigger fear than it has to be. really, when you are not intentional with the way that you think, when you're just mindlessly walking through life, making decisions and not even thinking about or observing how you got to this place, you'll have that negative self-talk. You'll allow it to keep going. One of the things, Dr. Toni, you said on the radio, you always said that when thoughts come in, don't let them run rampant in your head. You got to check them at the door. You said that so many times on the radio that that's what I hear when these crazy thoughts come in, and we all have them. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I never have a negative thought. I never talk myself out of stuff, because trust me, I do. But now I'm being more intentional every chance I get. And so when you are intentional with your way of thinking, and you have that intention and that will and that energy that meets it and your desire for that manifestation, I'm not willing to let the negative talk that causes the fear to cripple me. I'm not allowing it to be crippling and cause me to stay in a place of stuck, sitting there in a box, wishing and wanting and not willing. And then you have that, I wonder if I could have, what if I should have, I wonder if I could have. You got that what if, could have, and should have. Yes, you should have, you really could have, and I wish you would have, you know, so that you could take that jump, go across, and what's waiting for you on that other side is being proud of yourself, having more, identifying more with being more than a conqueror, having that knowing that you can do more, that willing to push past the next hurdle. You know you can jump, go under, move it aside, but you know you can't stay where you are. And so you're going to just keep going up and up and up and up because you have the experience. Now you have that testimony. That testimony, let me tell you something. When you have a testimony, when the next test comes, that testimony will minister to you. Sometimes people can talk to you until they blue in the face. Dr. Toni and I can talk to you until we're blue in the face, but it is your experience and what you're willing to acknowledge and what you know, the wisdom that's in your brain, the willingness to push past beyond the break, the willingness to accomplish all you want to accomplish. That has to be there in order for you to take what we're saying, make it applicable in your life. You know, we always talk about when you get the information excited, and then Dr. Toni talked about the bridge, getting from the time you hear the message, when you pumped up, to the time where you got to implement it. That takes courage. That takes a lot. And we all have that in us. We just got to be willing to access it and know how to access it. And if you don't know how to access it, if you're still allowing your life to be controlled by the negative self-talk, get in contact with us. Go to our website. You can go to theattractivethinker.guru. She has tons and tons of information on there, programs. She got tons of stuff on there that can help you to demolish the negative self-talk and to be able to recreate your life. And then visualencouragement.com will give you that push you need to implement, give you that ignition that you need to say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can be free. I can get where I'm going. I just got to take that extra step. This is why we created Beyond the Break, so that you know you're not alone. You don't have to jump by yourself. We're right there with you. But if you get to a place called stop, we're also going to push you. Yeah. So at all costs, we're making sure you're going to get to that other side so you can have the reward that you have been waiting all your life for. You don't have to wait until all your ducks is lined up in a row. As a matter of fact, waiting for your ducks to be lined up in a row can be such a hindering process. It can make you late for your own results. You know, when you wait for your ducks to be lined up in a row, this has to be like this, that has to be like that in order for me to jump. No, let's jump, let's go, let's stop the negative self-talk. Let's just take action, implement what we learn, be willing to get across, celebrate when we get there. And see, here's the thing. We are here to celebrate you. At every milestone, we're going to celebrate you on the walk up. We're going to celebrate you on a platform, and we're going to celebrate you while you're in the air. And then we definitely going to celebrate when you get across on that other side and you're feeling well by yourself. You're not going to be like, oh, by yourself. We're going to be right there with you because we're doing it with you. We got this.
Yeah.
You got this. It's already in you, and it's already right there waiting for you. The world is at your fingertips. Take it, grab it, take it by storm. Do that. Back to you, Dr. Toni.
I love it. 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 Oh my gosh, that was so good. That was so good. We're here to celebrate you. Why is that so important? People need to be celebrated. I mean, think about it as children. They bring their little picture to their parents and it looks all scribbled up, and the parent goes crazy over, oh my God, like that's so beautiful. You did such an amazing job. That builds that child up. It builds
Mm-hmm.
their confidence and their courage. It envelops them with love and
Mm-hmm.
support. And they'll go back and do it all over again and bring something else so fantastic and amazing. And they're putting more effort into it. That's what happens, like Tichet said, when you accomplish something, you have that testimony and it builds you up for the next thing that you have to face in your life or accomplish. You don't back down. You're like, I know, listen, I might not be equipped, may not have all the tools, but we're going to get this done. Let's just take this
Yes.
bit by bit, piece by piece, challenge by challenge, one step at a time, and we're going to get to the finish line. When we talk about celebrating you, we're here to celebrate you. It's because as adults, when you're doing that new thing, be it starting a new business idea, moving from the workforce as an employee to an entrepreneur, or transforming your life, creating a new identity, changing something, doing something new, you're going to need to be celebrated. You're going to need that encouragement. And everybody around you is not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy when you do this new thing. So you're going to need people around you that are happy for you. And that's what you're going to get here at Beyond the Break 2020, and that's our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, because Beyond the Break is about giving yourself a fighting chance. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. Here's a chance, and here's a chance, and here's a chance. You never run out of chances. Give yourself a chance to prosper. Give yourself a chance to grow. Give yourself a chance to reach your goal. Give yourself a chance to get what you deserve out of this wonderful, fantastic, and amazing life that you're living. Dr. Toni Hatton, your Break the Cycle specialist at theattractivethinker.guru, where we support you with coaching sessions and group and private sessions and programs and packages that will support you, tools and resources, answers, next steps, direction to support you on your goal and help you master and manage and conquer the things that come up in you while you're on your journey to success. There's some things that are gonna come up in you that you never even pondered, but they have to be dealt with in order for you to reach your goal. So visit our website, theattractivethinker.guru, and get your resources there. Contact us through our website so we can support you. We can expedite your process because we've been where you're trying to go. Tell us how we can tell our audience to share how they can get in touch with you, the visual encourager.
You can get in touch with me at www.visualencouragement.com. That is my website where we provide mental support for people dealing with depression who desires to lift the heaviness so that they can create a new vision for themselves. Again, that's visualencouragement.com. Go to the contact us page, put in your information. Let me know how I can ignite you, uplift you, encourage you so you can get to the other side. And we'll see and celebrate you on that other side. Visualencouragement.com.
Awesome. We are here to celebrate. We celebrate you right now. We celebrate your success. We are so proud of you for taking that next step, for just thinking that you could think a different thought, for thinking about that new idea, for thinking big, for even visualizing. You may not have taken any action steps yet, but I celebrate you for visualizing it, for thinking that it's possible, for taking the opportunity to give yourself what you deserve. Even if you just wrote down your goals, I celebrate you for that. Even if you just had the courage to share it with one person, take it to God in prayer, I celebrate you for that. Those are great steps. Stay connected to Beyond the Break 2020 on YouTube. Click the share button. Leave us a comment. Let us know the gems and the jewels that you're pulling from these episodes that we're sharing with you. Dr. Toni Hatton here and Tichet Bradshaw, you're our co-host. We love you. We celebrate you. We support you. And we trust that you're having a fantastic and amazing week. Until next time,